Guys, Coach Layton here with your daily reset. Today we're going to be focusing on talking about a concept, one of the more interesting concepts that I've learned thus far in physical therapy school, and that is trigger points, or muscle referral patterns is another way of saying it. So the way to explain that is we talk about people that have like a heart attack or something like that. They can describe the pain when they have a heart attack as coming through their chest, even their neck, and maybe sometimes their arm. So what that is the organ is actually making a referral pattern to the parts of their body that are actually not exactly where the heart is located. So that's a referral pattern from the organ that recreates that what we know as angina or chest pain that could be indicative of a heart attack. So that's what scares people when they have those certain symptoms. So just like an organ, muscles can actually do the same type of thing. They can refer to different parts of the body, not necessarily where the muscle is located, but actually to other parts of the body to refer that pain. So today we're going to be talking about specifically the glutes and how they can refer to the low back or places like down the leg, which sometimes people will say, oh, I have sciatica, that pain goes down my leg. That actually could be a referral pattern from one of the muscles in the butt or one of our gluteal muscles. So things like also things like low back pain. People have central low back pain. That's a common complaint when in physical therapy clinics is low back pain. So we can actually have trigger points in the glutes that can cause that central low back pain. So we'll kind of talk through a couple of them today. First of all, what is a trigger point? So a trigger point is just a tight ball of musculature and fascia that has kind of created itself over time due to our maybe less than optimal movement patterns. So we're not super supple people all the time. We have tight parts of our body. So what happens over time is these trigger points create themselves due to the way that we choose to move. So those things can actually be the cause of pain throughout our body. They may not be the only cause, but they may be some or contributing to our pain. So one thing we're going to start with today is a gluteal referral pattern. So in order to locate this, we're going to start on our hip. So I have some super high hips. What we're looking for is this bony ridge, aka the iliac crest on this side of the body. I've got super high hips right here. So starting just below that is this, what some people call the flexor wad or the extensor wad. So the TFL, so people call the tensor fasciae lata, is right here, goes into the gluteus medius and then the gluteus maximus. And we can kind of poke and prod all through there to try to see if we can recreate maybe a symptom that you have been complaining about. So using a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, we can do this to kind of investigate through those corners and find if maybe we can recreate some sort of trigger that kind of produces symptoms similar to what we may be experiencing. If you find some like tight corner with that ball, what you can do to actually treat that is going to be about 1 to 2 minutes of either a sustained constant pressure or a intermittent pressure. So in and out, just kind of isolating up and down, oscillating up and down, excuse me. And that is actually the way that a therapist would go about treating a trigger point. So they would just kind of be working in that tissue, trying to get it to release and to open up again. And that will actually subside or completely subside someone's symptoms or their pain patterns. And if you think about it, it actually makes sense functionally. So if we were to stand up and to do a dumbbell snatch, I'm reaching towards the ground. Say my hips are super tight and I can no longer get all the way down, but the dumbbell is still on the floor and I need to be able to grab it. Where am I going to find that range of motion? It's going to be in that low back. So that low back is going to have a lot more force and a lot more tension on it than it actually needs to be. We're supposed to get that range of motion from our hips. And so if we're not getting that range of motion from the hips, there's going to be a lot more pressure on that low back. So think about these things. Consider using a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball to kind of go in there, kind of loosen up those hips. See if that helps the low back, or maybe even if you're having symptoms down the leg. This by no means replaces going to a physio or going to a chiro to help actually resolve your pain. Those people are trained professionals. This is just merely a small suggestion that might help. So see you guys next time.